It saves time and expense because you don't have to draw up bespoke terms for each individual transaction. You can also standardise the contracting process so that it can be dealt with by more junior staff or staff without legal training. You're also given confidence that you're contracting in terms that are favourable to you because they're in a format that doesn't easily encourage negotiation. And finally, it allows you to make sure that you're compliant with your own internal policies and procedures. Yes and no. They do have their advantages, but there are areas in which care must be taken. The general law imposes various restrictions on what can be included in standard terms and conditions. There's always the risk that staff might inadvertently include them or use them where their use is inappropriate. They do require regular review to ensure that they're still compliant with the general law and also with company policies and procedures. For certain high-value contracts, it might be more appropriate to enter into a set of bespoke terms. And finally, they have to be validly incorporated into the contract between the customer and the supplier. So you could spend a great deal of time and money creating a set of standard terms and conditions that are very high quality and that protect you from all manner of risks. But if they aren't validly incorporated into the contract, they will not apply to the arrangement between the seller and the customer. There are some legal principles dealing with when a contract is formed, but what we are concerned with is incorporation, which means how we can be sure that our standard terms actually apply. Effective incorporation will depend on the individual circumstances, but a few key principles do apply. First of all, you should take care to bring the standard terms to the customer's attention in as much pre-contractual documentation as possible. This might include marketing materials, brochures, and your website. Staff should be properly trained to ensure that they comply with proper contracting procedures and to avoid contracting on the basis perhaps of a customer's standard terms, which could differ in risk profile and other terms. The contract itself should be drafted so as to maximise the chances of incorporation. For example, you might wish to exclude a requirement that the customer sign terms to indicate their consent, because the absence of the signature could lead to a conclusion that there was no incorporation. And finally, you should take particular care to draw attention to particularly unusual or onerous terms, for example, uncapped liabilities or indemnities.